Hello everyone, today we are going to learn about Hugging Face and Gradio. So without a lot of talking, let's just dive into our code. So for our code, we have first thing that we installed Gradio that we're going to use and transformers to install a model that is on Hugging Face. Imported the stuff and created a function called classify that will take a text. Then I created a pipeline using transformer and I gave it a task of text classification. Then I used the Roberta Base Go emotion model, which we used actually in a previous video to detect the emotion, and we talked about BERT in details and what the difference between it and Roberta. Then I passed this text to the model. Then I got the list, the first list. Then I got the score and the label. I'm just taking from the score here the first 5 decimal digits, and then I run test on it, give me what I want. And for Gradio, it's just simple interface, nothing like difficult here, just input that will take a text, output for that label, which basically what type of emotion, and the score. And then I bought the function that will do the entire classification for us, which that we created above here, and then a title. Here I just want to show you something. After we created this interface, I give it launch true, which on Google Colab you need share true to display it like this, and it's just working right here. But this line launch auth user and password is actually created to make this Gradio interface secured as a space. So we are going to use this on Hugging Face space as a first option. The second one, I'm going to talk about how we can create an API. So let's go to Hugging Face and create our own new space. So I'm right now at Hugging Face. I'm going to create new space, call it, and license, give it common license, and use Gradio, of course. And for just to start, we're gonna use public. We can switch to private at any time. It's just a click of button. Click the space, and here it will tell us to clone this using it. Then create an app.py file and push it to this repo. So we are going to do that what it exactly tells us, but we are just gonna replace the logic of the app here file to our logic that we created over here. All right, so I'm gonna clone it and come back to you. All right, so I cloned the repo and I open my Visual Studio Code editor and copied the logic that I used, the imports and the function and the interface inside the app.py file, but I changed something in the Colab. I had share equal true, which we don't need it actually on the Hugging Face space that we created, and I bought something different here, auth user.password. I know this is not ideal thing, we can change it. I will show you how to make it better actually, and we're gonna save this file and I'm gonna do a requirements.txt. I'm gonna do it in the terminal of Visual Studio Code. Just Python m pip request dot pip request. This will create us for requirement text, and actually don't need to specify the versions for both Gradio and transformers. And I think we are ready right now. Maybe we can add torch just to be safe. Torch, and right now we are ready to publish our space that we created in Hugging Face. First thing, git add, then git commit, then git push. We will do that and it will start running and building our space. So after running the commands and push it to the Hugging Face space that we created, it will do something similar like building, and it will take time. Here I think it's done. Right now it gives us like here login, enter user and password that we already created. Mine was user and password is password. I know this is extremely dumb. Again. And it's up and running. Let's take this text that we used over here, copy it, and paste it here to see the result. Submit. Done, and we have type joy and the score is displayed. So right now we have something stupid. I don't know if you noticed, but anyone can access our public space and click Files tab and enter the app.py. I get the user and password. This is not correct. The user and password should be saved. So what we can do actually to make it secret is go to settings and come to the secrets over here, and we can create new secret, one for user and one for password. Okay, and after it's done, we can use it to as a password and a user saved in our secret environment. Let me show you. So right now we have two secrets in private, user and password. Let's go back to our files. Here, we can edit it here or in our code and push it one more. We can just edit it here for simplicity's sake and import OS. It will take time to rebuild the repo and see how it will act after it's done. So after fixing the mistake that I did in the code, which is simple actually, it just instead of get E with capital, it's with small e, and waiting for building the space, it's done. Let's try it out. Right now, if someone went to our file, he will not know which is the username and which is the password. Let me see if I remember my own password. So I am in. Right now, our environment is secured. It can't be used by anyone. If you went to the files and click on the app.py, whoever will open it will not understand what the password and user, because it's just for us. Nobody know except us who created the secret vars for this environment. This is how you keep it safe. So what if I wanted to change this to use it in an API? Because one of the best thing about Gradio, you can use the API. Like here, you can take this link and you call it with run predict, and you can send the text as a data and it will automatically return results. So let's see how we going to do this. The first thing that we need to do is go into settings, changing from public to private. Here change the visibility, space visibility from public to private. Make it private. Okay. And go to here, files. Let's go to files. Let's remove the entire OS get env and all the stuff, because we don't need it anymore actually. And we just have to comment here and use this one instead, and just commit save to main, and it will start building. In the meanwhile, when it's building, let's go to our profile settings. Go to access token. I want to just create any token that you have. Just after you create it, give it a name and copy it, and keep a copy of it because we are going to need it. I'm going to show you how to create a simple web page right now using Svelte, and you can use it to connect our API. So as I said, the good thing about Gradio, you can come use the API, copy this. After we are done, we go copy. I created a small script using Svelte app to talk to our own space that we created over here. We just have to replace this part by your space and it will automatically run. And here put your token. I can leave it as a env and you can put it in env. I will leave all this code, don't worry about it, in a GitHub repo. So it's just a small code in this field that will show the results when on bit text. I will show it here. Like for example, here it will show the admiration and score. Let's try this is awesome and send. Loading, conditional rendering, and it will come back with admiration. This is bad. I mean, it's small stupid example, disapproval and the score. And it's just that you can talk your own space using Axios. Here I'm using Axios, and I'm just passing the text, the emotion inside the data array, and give it a header of content type JSON application, and authorization is the token that we created on Hugging Face. And just do a couple of small stuff like getting a response, button loading and false, resting the text. And you can read this actually if you want to and if you need to more talk about how to create a web app, I'm gonna actually create in the future an end-to-end project app, from machine learning model, selecting the correct model and data stuff, to deploy it and then talk to the API and creating a web app around it. So that's it for today. I hope that you learned something new. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.